Prepare to be captivated by the business story of the week, hosted by me, Shaheen Shan. Join us on a journey through the twists and turns of entrepreneurial triumphs and setbacks. Immerse yourself in the narrative and witness the magic that turns dreams into reality. This is Business Story of the Week. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Business Story of the Week. Today, we've got a remarkable guy. His name's Andy, and he's not your typical entrepreneur. In fact, he's far from it. Andy's the founder of Relentless Education. He's a CEO, a pro athlete, a serial entrepreneur. He spent over 15 years in the trenches building and scaling companies, a lot from the ground up. His journey spans a wide range of experiences, from building large-scale franchise systems to owning cafes and bars, raising millions in capital and investment, producing network TV shows, securing international book deals, and coaching hundreds of thousands of clients worldwide on mindset, health, and business. Andy's unique real-world perspective and unwavering passion for nurturing self-leaders and companies makes him truly an exceptional guest. Today, we're going to delve into his extraordinary journey and tap into the wisdom he's gained along the way. So fasten your seatbelts for an enlightening conversation with Andy. Andy, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, my friend. Really excited to be here.
Yeah, super psyched to have you. So I can tell already that you have a New Jersey accent. I'm very good with figuring these things out. Tell us a bit about yourself and where you're from.
So I'm from Australia, Australian boy. I live in the Gold Coast, and unfortunately haven't been to New Jersey, but Aussie boy through and through.
I was only joking. I get that.
I could
So
tell.
tell us about your start in business and where it's taken you to now.
Yeah, great question. So look, I started in business really opening my own shop when I was about 24 years old. I was a personal trainer, achieving a lot as a one-man show. Had a dream to do something bigger and greater than what I was doing. And so I went out, I raised $500,000 in capital, and I launched my first gym in Victoria.
Wow. So you started a gym in Victoria. And so you went from basically having nothing, starting from the ground up, to having your own gym. As a personal trainer, that must have been an amazing feeling.
It was an incredible feeling. You know, it was scary. I didn't know if I could truly do it. I had the desire, the drive, the want to do it, and I just figured it out as I went. So had no starting capital. Heard some legend, some genius talking about starting a business with no money, raising it off other people. I thought, that is incredible. You're telling me I don't need to save up for the next 10 years. I can get other people to invest in my dream. And so that sparked excitement in me. I went out and I raised the capital, and I took that business from one location to 18 locations across Australia. And that really sort of got my foot in the door in regards to being an entrepreneur.
So based on that, how does your experience as a CEO and a pro athlete and a serial entrepreneur shape your approach to building what you call self-leaders in companies?
Yeah, well, look, I think if you want to do anything extraordinary, whether it's in sport, relationships, in business, you need to be able to lead yourself through the difficult times. You need to be able to lead yourself on a minute-by-minute basis, an hour-by-hour basis. And that comes down to those micro efforts, you know, the discipline to get up and move your body in the morning, to write your goals, to think clearly about who you want to be and where you want to go and what you want to do. It's about leading yourself through challenges, hard conversations, through the strategy of business. So I think that the mindset in success really overlays in all of those categories. And if you can nail it in one, you can learn to self-lead through all of them.
Where are you now? Are you in Australia now?
I'm in Australia now, correct.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I think, I tell people this all the time, right? I'm an immigrant coming to America during the 1980s. As refugees, my family came here, and we basically built everything we had from nothing. I did, certainly. And I think for that reason, America's probably the greatest country on earth, because you have the ability to do that And there's really not much that can get in your way if you really want to do it. Like you teach and talk about mindset. I know that in Europe, it's different. People don't want you to succeed there, right? And being an entrepreneur, having wealth is not something that people want to make public. And I've heard in Australia, there's something called tall poppy syndrome, right? So you never want to be the tall poppy, right? Because the tall poppy gets cut. How is it there in Australia compared to the United States, compared to Europe, compared to the rest of the world? If you're somebody starting out with the desire to become super successful like you are?
Yeah, such a great question, and I've noticed that as well. I've been to the US a lot. I've enjoyed learning from a lot of great mentors over in the US, and I've noticed how you celebrate success a lot more than we do over here. It's true in Australia. There's a little bit more judgment, a little bit more probably negativity around the people that are going out there risking it all, showing the world what they do and how they do it. And so I can clearly see that difference in the cultures. There's no doubt about it. But no matter how that is, and on those facts, you still have to step up and get it done. I think it might be getting better in Australia slowly, but you can't let that stop you, and you got to stand up and shine anyway.
Yeah, so you're in the education business now, coaching people, training people how to become, again, what you call self-leaders, and I want to go into that. But how do you overcome that, right? So you're a young guy, you go into the world, you're trying to succeed, and people don't want you to succeed. Your friends want you to be at their level. People want to bring you down to their level. And I realized that this was a funny thing, right? So I started when I was really young, when I was in my early teens, 15, 16. I remember at the time I had a girlfriend and she'd be like so embarrassed to take me out because she would take me out to hang out with the people she was hanging out with. And first thing I'd be like, what do you do? And I realized pretty soon that you don't do that when you're hanging out with those people because everybody fucking hates their life. All these people who are working, selling their hours, fucking hate their life, man. So if you go out and you say, what do? They start to realize that, fuck, man, I'm selling my time for minimum wage or near it. And this is bullshit. So people don't talk about that in the lower levels of life and business and industry. So I decided, screw this, I'm going to start hanging out with people that are higher and above me. But if you're somebody just starting out, right, and you're coaching them, how would you recommend that they get over something like that? How do they get over the fact that initially when you're going from 0 to 100, the world doesn't want you to get there, or it seems that way?
Yeah, man, great question. I think you nailed it. It's about creating and mastering your environment. You need to create an environment internally, first and foremost, that is reinforcing your belief around success, reinforcing your own confidence, making sure that you are focusing on the positives and not the negatives. But to really, really help accelerate that, you need to surround yourself with a tribe of people that are going to elevate you and lift you up and not tear you down all the time. So, having great colleagues, great mentors, communities, masterminds, things of that nature are so freaking crucial, especially at the early stages where you're building that self-belief and determination. You need to have a good tribe of people around you that are going to help elevate that whole mindset and mentality to make sure that you're not tripping over yourself.
I love that. So you're the sum total of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Would you agree with that?
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, I tell that to people all the time. So stop hanging out with fucking losers, man, because they're only going to bring you down. And I know it's not politically correct to say. I know a lot of people say, hey, man, everybody's this, that, and everybody's a good person. I think it's bullshit. I think there are losers. There's people that suck your energy and they're vampires and they fucking bring you down. And until you can learn to say no to those people, you can just say no thanks, or just tell them to fuck off. Yeah. And a lot of that comes with having that money. You're never going to make it. Yeah. So you got to clear the forest before you can go on a run.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So in your journey, Andy, what's the most significant lesson you've learned about the intersection of mindset, health, and business that you believe everyone should know?
Look, I think the biggest lesson would be to focus on on appreciation every single day, knowing that you get to do the thing that you want to do. You don't have to do the thing that you want to do. So from a thinking perspective, showing up in the good times and the bad times with, I get to handle this problem. I get to do the thing. If you're thinking in that way, then you are going to feel so much better about every single action that you do every single day. And that directly ties into your health, which means, from a physical standpoint and a health standpoint, if you're thinking in a productive, resourceful way, you will tend to behave and move your body, and your habits will reflect the way that you think. So it means you'll work out more, you'll move more. And if you're doing that, you will have the energy to then show up in business and apply the strategies that you need to apply every single day. Business isn't easy. We know that. I'm sure everyone listening to this understands that it is the most challenging game there is. It's a game of consistency, a game of facing adversity and fears nonstop. And so if in that hierarchy you can master your thinking, master your movement and your body and your energy, then you'll be able to master the consistency that it takes in business.
Yeah, totally. And there's a great book. So recently I've been obsessed with two writers. One is this guy, Robert Greene, who I'm sure you know, he's written the 48 Laws of Power. And the other one is a guy named Ryan Holiday. And he's written a book called Discipline is Destiny. And it's a great book. Anybody that wants to check it out, check out Ryan Holiday's book, Discipline is Destiny. And he talks a lot about that, right? About that we get to solve this problem. And I think I talk a lot about this to beginning entrepreneurs where they're like, fuck man, my work is so hard, right? Because the grass always seems greener on the other side. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're in hair, there'll be somebody in makeup who looks like what they're doing better for you. If you're in makeup, the hair person's job looks better. If you're an entrepreneur and you're running hotels, you're like, fuck man, I wish I was in the physical products business on Amazon. So you got to learn to solve the problems upstream so you have less of them and your business flows more. But ultimately, the thing that separates amateurs from professionals is this. It's that the problem is the work. And people don't understand that. I tell this to people all the time, Andy. I tell people all the time. I'm like, dude, yeah, your thing is churning out these widgets, but right now you got this big problem that's stopping you from churning out the widgets. So that is your work, or you have a difficult employee that's suing you for something, or you have whatever that is. That is the work. Solving that problem is the barrier to entry in your industry. And if you can become really fucking good, if you can become a crack expert at solving those problems, I guarantee you, if you build that discipline, you're going to be amazing at what you do. Would you agree with that?
100%. I totally agree with that.
Incredible. Wow. What a great talk. I would love to get you on for our long form show. If you'd consider being on for that, I think you'd be awesome for that. And we can dig into more of the work that you do, Andy. In the meanwhile, why don't you tell people who want to engage with you, learn more about your work, maybe hire you to coach? How do people get a hold of you and learn more about what you do?
Absolutely. Well, look, I'd love to do long form. Absolutely would enjoy that. And you can find more of me and what I do at Relentless Education. So www.relentlesseducation.com.au, or you can follow me on Instagram, Andy_I_Anderson. And I spend a lot of time there as well.
So it's Andy_I_Anderson. We got to get an easier to remember Insta handle for you. But
making you work, team. Making you work.
I got to be the game show. Oh, there you go. What a great portrait. Who did your portrait?
What's that? Sorry. The profile photo. AI. The wonders of AI.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That is one of the best portraits I've seen. And you use like Lensa, or you use one of the AI apps?
One of the AI apps, yeah.
Oh, amazing. Amazing. Look at that. You are fit as fuck, dude. What kind of athlete did you say you were?
So I'm a pro in the WBFF, which is a bodybuilding federation.
What is that?
Bodybuilding.
So
yeah,
you're
International Bodybuilding Federation.
Okay. Yeah, you got the build of like a bodybuilder, but definitely you also look like you're a wrestler or a grappler of some kind as well.
Yeah, so I do jiu-jitsu and some martial arts just for fun. Nothing crazy.
Love that, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, make sure you check out Andy_I_Anderson on Instagram. Check out all his work. And we'll look forward to having him on the show again. We'll include the links to the show notes. And thank you for joining us here on Business Story of the Week. Andy, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Right. All right. So here's the thing. We try to get a little bit better every day, but we can't do it without you. So if you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe below. And if you have any comments, just leave them in the space under.